Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah, 100%.
So if you want something, go get it. Learn how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, right?
Exactly, because no one's gonna go as hard as you on your dream. You know what I mean? They got their own dreams.
I say that all the time.
Like,
exactly. You can't expect it until you can pay a salary.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Culture Show. Thank you for watching again. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. That little bell's right there. Hold on. We'll give him a second to do it. Alright. Now we're hella excited once again for another fucking episode. Like, I'm hyped for this one. Our first international guest. You already know who it is because you can see the thumbnail. But, you know, we like to, me and Liam, we care about each other, you know? So we like to know, bro, how has your week been, bro?
Oh, bro, pretty full on. You know, no work this weekend. Just straight party.
Yeah, just straight party. No business, all party, bro. It was all mullet for the weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, went to a pretty good show on Friday night. Wink, wink.
Yeah, bro, which we'll fucking get into. I reckon we actually just get into this, to be honest.
Yeah, okay, let's get straight into it, bro.
Yeah, alright, I'm just going to run the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have our first international guest travelling here all the way from Canada. He already has records with Aussie legends such as Complete, Omac, and Grilly, and a catalogue that speaks for itself. Here to talk about that and more, here fresh off the Melbourne leg of his Australian tour, it's KRYPLE, ladies and gentlemen. Hey. How are you, my bro? Thank you for coming.
Brother. No, thanks for having me, man. Happy to be here.
It's good to finally get this going and that, man. But I want to start off firstly, bro. How you enjoying Down Under? I know this is your second time here, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful, bro. I love it out here. The culture's nice. The scenery's nice. I'm not too keen on the fucking 38-degree days.
Oh, you come at a wild time.
Yeah, no doubt, right? They say Melbourne's supposed to be the cooler place, you know?
Bro, but like most of the time it'll be like hot during the day and then at night time it's piss and rain, you know, 2 hours later, do you know what I mean? Yeah. But lately it's been 3 days in a row scorching, bro. Like,
yeah, it's been a pretty hot wave.
Cause you guys are usually snowing and shit up in Canada, huh?
That's the perception, but not really.
So whereabouts in Canada are you from?
Edmonton.
Edmonton, okay.
So Edmonton's like the best of both. We're kind of we're the northernmost city with over 1 million people in the world.
Yep.
Our summers get like 32, 35.
Oh, really?
In Celsius, yeah. And our winters get like, we just had minus 50 this winter, so it fucking fluctuates like crazy, yeah. So we have hot ass summers, cold ass winters.
Yeah, see, our winters get cold, but not minus 50.
Yeah,
bro,
that's crazy as fuck, bro.
That's wild, that's crazy, bro. So what would you say, like I know this is a bit of a cliche question, bro, but I just want to get it over and done with. Like with that one, you know what I mean? Like what would you say are the main differences between like Australia and Canada? Obviously the weather, but like, what would you say the main differences are in terms of like living, like walking the streets, the city? You know what I mean? Like the people, even like
lifestyle. Like I would say, well, you guys have ocean everywhere. All the cities are on the ocean.
Our land is girt by sea, brother. It's
so there's a lot of. It's a lot more outgoing in that sense. There's a lot more outdoorsy stuff to do. A lot more people are like just surfing and doing kind of stuff like that. And the prices, maybe. The prices.
There's no tax at the end of that. What you're paying for is what you're paying for. Yeah,
but it's most stuff are a little bit more expensive than at least in Canada, right? And our dollar's considerably the same. So, yeah, it's a little bit more expensive out here.
Inflation isn't hitting Canada yet as bad as it is Australia.
Oh, it's crazy right now, but it's still just like
still cheaper.
Yeah, like this bottle of water was like $4.50.
You know what I mean? You got it from Pie Face, bro. That was your first mistake. If you went into the servo, you could have got one for $2, bro. You walked out of there a happy man.
Okay.
I'm telling you, bro. It's all about the branding here as well, bro. Like people here, they will pay for the brands. If they see a certain brand, they'll be like, yeah, that's top quality shelf shit. Even though it might be worse than the fucking cheapest shit. You know what I mean? Like,
fair enough.
We're very Australians are very influenceable. Is that the right word for it? Influential. You know what I mean?
The cheapest one at the store too, the Pie Face one.
Yeah. Buying drinks from Pie Face was where you went. If you had to pay the same amount as the water as you did for the pie, you probably shouldn't.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you're not wrong though.
Pie Face is crazy. So, bro, like, what have you been up to while you're here? I know you're out here with Dean. By the way, Dean's here, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out Dean, running half taken almost.
What
famous.
A legend.
The legend that brought the legend down. But so, what have you been up to while you're here, man? Before we get into everything, I want to
pretty much just working, man. Like I'm trying to stay as busy as possible and network. Like I did this tour as a building thing.
Yeah.
Like I knew I wasn't gonna turn a profit. I knew I just want to build more fans, more connections, more networks. So as many studio sessions as I can, podcasts, videos, like whatever collaborations I can get done while I'm here. And that's kind of like what I've been up to. So it's been good so far. Like that's what I've been doing.
Yeah,
just keeping
man,
busy, you know.
How was the show, the Melbourne show, bro?
It was good, man.
Yeah?
It was a good turnout, man. There's some dope people there, and I just like it was a cool like reality check for me too. You know, like I think artists need these humbling experiences where it's like there's a whole venue full of people, but they weren't all really there to see me, you know. So it's cool, like, because back home now I'm just starting to do pretty good numbers. So like
I was seeing
I'll
the
do a
shows
show
on Instagram, bro.
so there's hundreds of people that show up and they're singing my songs and blah blah blah. And then you travel overseas and you're like, okay, yeah, got work to do, which is exactly why I'm here trying to build it and get it so it gets to that level. So overall, the vibe of the show is great. The people that were there were great, you know. So
do you think that like that sort of between, as you said, like over at home at the moment, you sort of established yourself. You've got the fan base, people are pulling up to the shows.
Yeah.
And so you start to get obviously a little bit comfortable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you come over here and you sort of get humbled a little bit, as you said, they're not all here to see you at the time, and that sort of same following that you have at home isn't here yet, and that's why you're here to build it. Do you think that will turn your hustle up a bit when you go home as well?
1,000,000%, bro. I was saying to Dean earlier, it just makes me hungrier.
Yeah,
like,
hell yeah.
I like that kind of shit because I'm a realist too. So like, I don't go into this expecting that it's gonna be sold out shows everywhere or anything like that. Like you obviously hope for the best, but you know, I'm just out here trying to grind. So yeah, it makes me hungrier and hungrier. And excuse me. Aside from even just the show, like anybody draws inspiration from life. And now that I'm a little bit older, like I don't go out partying all the time and stuff. So I spend the majority of my time sitting at home and just working, and it gets kind of redundant. So being able, even just traveling, seeing new things, meeting new people, like I'll go home with a huge new level of just like
even new
inspiration. Yeah, exactly, right? So I think it's great for that.
Yeah, 100%, bro, 100%. So what do you think, bro, like what was it for you that made it obviously you knew that you've been out here before, you know, so what was it that made, obviously you said you wanted to work and you wanted to build, but what was it that finally was like, okay, I need to get back out to Australia now?
Yeah, what made you choose Australia?
Because obviously there's so many other states that you could build on, LA, Australia, you know what I mean? Like
I can't go to the States yet because I got a criminal record.
Oh shit, okay.
Dumbass, and it's so dumb, bro, because I got a possession of weed charge from like 10 years ago.
Oh, no, and it's legal now.
And it's legal, so they wiped it on my record in Canada, but I tried to cross before it was legal, so the U.S. still has it on there, so even though it's off my record, the U.S. is like, well, you got this. And it's just a process. It's like, you know, it costs you a couple grand, and it takes like 6 or 8 months to fucking, and you gotta drive down and hand in the paperwork in person to the border. You can't like mail it in, so it's just a process that I should have gotten around to, but I haven't yet.
Yeah.
But Australia, just because like I got more roots, or not roots, but more connections here than anything. Like
to build from.
Yeah, like I've been working with Complete for a couple years. I got a couple songs with him.
How did that connection come about? That's an interesting.
Through Mercules.
Oh, shout out Mercules! He's so hard, bro. We love Mercules.
He's my dog, man, for life.
We love Mercules here.
So he brought me out here on his tour in 2019, and Complete was the direct support.
Yeah.
So just from that we met and we just kind of clicked. Him and Omac.
Sick. Yeah.
Both of them are fucking gems. I love
Mercules
them to
is Canadian as well,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like close to your hometown as well, or?
He's not really. He's like a 12-hour drive,
Oh, no
like
shit.
1 hour flight. But Canada's like, it's a giant place, but a small community. So like, you know, rappers like Merc would tour through Canada with like Snack and fucking Ari the Rugged Man and stuff like that. So that's how I met him first, and then I did his first ever solo headlining tour with him. And we've just been building ever since, kind of. We've got a good relationship. I think anybody I work with are friends first.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps the relationship fresh. But yeah, that's how I met Complete, was through that tour, and then we just stayed in touch.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro.
Do you like record through like Stealth Bomb or anything like that, like through Mercules or anything?
No, I just do. I'm very independent. Like I make all my beats. I do all my graphic design, all my video editing.
Beats, and that's
That's something I was gonna say when I was doing my research on your Instagram, bro. I see you do a lot of producing as well. Like as much as your music content goes hard, like you go just as hard on your producing content as well. I see you promoting back in that, like. Sorry, bro, I just like fucking flies and welcome to Australia. Canadian watchers.
Australia.
Fucking sorry, bro. What made me lose my train of thought? What was the question I was asking?
Something about beats.
Oh, that's the beats. Yeah. Sorry. Do you find because you go just as hard, I noticed, with your beat making as you do with your music, bro? Do you ever find there's a struggle with what's it called? Identifying with what you're chasing the hardest, like a producer or an artist? Because just for an example, we have a homie, right, who has been a producer and an engineer for a very long time, but makes very good music as an artist, and he's just started releasing it. But now he's too intimidated to promote his engineering and his engineer prices to get sessions because he thinks people won't look at him serious as an artist.
Not even close.
Not even close?
So I still make more money off beats than I do off rapping. So that's number one. Like I keep that up because that's my main source of income. and I love producing. I don't like. I think it goes hand in hand. I started producing just because it's expensive to be buying beats all the time, and the producers I was buying beats from at the time couldn't always get what I wanted. So I just wanted to learn how to make what I want.
Yeah.
So I think I juggle it pretty well. Like, and for me, it goes hand in hand. Like, I make beats almost every day.
Sick.
So I get up, I make beats. If something catches my ear, then I'll write to it. If not, it just goes in the folder to sell. And
Yeah.
because like I don't, whatever you would call it, I don't ever have like a beater's block. Like I have writer's block all the time nowadays.
But you can always make a beat. Yeah, that's cool.
So I can always just sit down and make a beat. So I'm always being creative regardless of what I'm doing. So I think it goes hand in hand for me, and I think it's kind of part of my brand now too. It's like, oh yeah, this guy makes beats and he raps. So.
Yeah, okay, sick, bro, sick.
That's interesting that you say that's cool.
Yeah.
And it only grows from there. Like, you remember, you guys know Hobson?
Of course,
when
bro,
he was first coming up, he was still selling beats for like $500 on his website
facts.
and shit like
Yeah.
that. And you know, I think as I get bigger, I might not have as much time to make the beats, but I still like want to produce the majority of my own music.
Facts.
And instead of me slowing down with the beats, I think all I would end up doing is start to produce for bigger artists.
Well, that's even a question. Even leading off that, bro. If you say your career in producing, so say you got a big placement from a huge, massive artist, which then blew your producing side of career into stratosphere. Would you then be happy to focus completely on that?
No.
And put
I'm a rapper, bro. I'm a rapper first.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
So all that would do is just get me in bigger rooms and better people. Not that I would shy away from it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you might
just
take the
have to
Kanye
navigate
approach.
it more sort of, exactly the Kanye approach. Yeah.
Do what you got to do to get in these rooms and stuff like that. But yeah, like on the same hand, right now, rapping is what's gotten me the bigger placements I've gotten already so far. Like, I don't have big placements, but I have, you know, I've produced a few songs for Complete's new album.
Sick.
I don't know if you've seen Dutch Courage. It's this video where he's in the phone booth talking about addiction.
Oh, true, no
I
shit.
produced that one. And
Word,
like, so like,
bro.
those connections have got me, you know.
Yeah.
And then even the people I've networked and met with out here, like, oh shit, send me beat packs and stuff like that.
Hell yeah, bro.
So it's like, it goes hand in hand.
Of course.
It's all in how you maneuver and how you decide to market yourself and what you choose to push, right?
And I think like using the word of mouth promotion technique to the extent where you're like going cross country is crazy, bro. Huge respect. That's massive.
Hey, thanks,
no matter
man.
how you get in the room, you just start networking.
He's getting. Oh, almost got the
just-
motherfucker. Sorry.
I'm a guy that's just, you got to do it. Like, I've been booking my own tours for like 8 years now. All my Canada, I do all that shit on my own. This one I couldn't have done without Dean's help, but like for sure, like I'd still like. I'm hitting up promoters in every city. Hey, can we make the show happen? Can we do this? Blah, blah, blah. Negotiating, writing the contracts, doing all that. So nobody's going to work harder for you than you work harder than you work for yourself. So
100%.
that's kind of been my mindset the whole time. Like, if you want to...
No one's gonna want it more than you want it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah, 100%.
So if you want something, go get it. Learn how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, right?
Exactly, because no one's gonna go as hard as you is on your dream. You know what I mean? They got their own dreams.
I say that all the time.
Like,
Exactly. You can't expect it until you can pay a salary. So
exactly right, bro.
I
Yeah.
want to run it back even further. So when was it your dream? When did you realize that this is what you want to do?
Fuck, long time ago, man. Probably as a kid, 12, 13 years old, just like watching it, you know.
Never had
shit like
any
that.
other dream. It was just strictly.
Bro, I used to just like sit with a screwdriver and like perform on the couch in my living room over like Eminem songs and pretend it was me. You know? So it's like,
always been the dream.
it's kind of just like, you know, and just pushing. And I'm like hard-headedly like, I can't even think of the word. Like, I believe in myself so much. Like, there's no thought in my mind that this isn't what's gonna be, and that it's not. Like, I know exactly where I'm gonna make
So
it
are you
because I'm not gonna stop.
It's massive. Are you big into like manifestation?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
for sure.
Speaking
You know
into
what's crazy
business.
about that though is like, I was a lot when I was younger, and then I kind of just like tried to, in the efforts to be more humble. I used to be a very cocky kid.
Yeah.
So in the efforts to try to be humble, I started telling myself. I started talking to myself like, I hope I do this. Oh, I hope I get it, because I didn't want to get my hopes up.
Yeah.
And then that started fucking with me a bit. And then so I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm gonna just tell myself I'm gonna do everything. So in my mind now, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna get this. Oh, I can't wait till I go do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this, and this shit started happening.
The
more.
laws of the
It's
universe,
like,
man,
yeah,
bro.
bro.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's
Put
just
your
crazy.
project out there.
What's
comes
that movie,
back
The
to you.
Secret,
Yeah.
or whatever? The book and the movie, The
Bro.
Secret. So
Do
like,
you know what? So I just put someone onto that movie like literally like a week ago.
I've never even seen it, but I just know what it's all about.
Brother, watch it. It will change your life. Like, it really will. I put Throw Off onto it the other day because she was, you know, all the shit she sends us. Yeah, bro. Yeah, but it's that movie that it used to be on Netflix. I think they took it off, bro. But like that movie, a lot of people came to me like at a time in life where like I didn't really believe in shit. Do you know what I mean? And like didn't really like see a reason for shit or anything like that. That movie was like brought to my attention by like 6 different people within like a week to watch. Do you know what I mean? I was like, okay, that's
like it's made to be.
Yeah, okay, I need to watch this. You know what I mean? But I watched it, bro, and it just made a lot of things make sense to me. You know what I mean, bro? But
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, man. So like, so you were saying like it's always been a creative thing for you, whether it's beat making or rapping.
Yeah, hugely creative for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Who was your biggest influence?
Eminem.
Yeah,
At the start, yeah,
sick,
you know.
Yeah.
100%.
But as I grow up, my influences change all the time now,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm hugely influenced by Pink Floyd. Like, I like Pink Floyd tattoo.
Dope, bro.
Old classic
Yeah.
rock and shit. Like, it's just the creativity behind these guys, especially, and
Yeah.
how many barriers they broke. One with, like, what they would talk about. And, like, I seen Roger Waters, like, 5-6 years ago. And even then, like, you go to a Roger Waters concert, and whatever's the craziest shit in politics at the time, like, he's got this shit all over the screen. He had, like, fucking 20 minutes worth of like Donald Trump propaganda content on the screen, and like, you know, now he's touring and it's all free Palestine and like shit like that. So I really love how outspoken they are about their beliefs, even though, and like their stage shows back in the day where they'd have 15-20 foot giant monsters running on stage and blimps flying or giant pigs flying around. It's just like, I love how innovative they are.
Unfuckwittable, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we've spoken to so many artists about that on this show and how important it is to actually just perform as well. Not just rap your music, but perform as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, yeah, dude.
Put on the show. They're there to see you. They pay money out of their hard-earned cash.
Bro, yeah,
to
facts.
see you. They can go
experience.
home and listen to your music on their iPod or their iPhone or whatever. Just they want to see you perform.
Facts, bro.
Yeah.
Say your ticket's $60 and old mate works $20 an hour, man. He just worked 3 hours to come and see you live. Like, that is crazy to me. You know what I mean,
I
man?
remember
Like,
even seeing 50 Cent. Like 50 Cent's one of my biggest idols, and like I went to see. This is years ago now. When I think Get Rich or Die Trying was like 20 years old or something.
Yeah.
He came out, and like I went there, and he sounded completely different. Like it's 20 years later, you know what I mean? But
Exactly.
in your head, you're like, oh, he should say the same as the album. But then I'm like, no, this is the experience.
Exactly,
And you bring it
exactly.
in, and it brings a whole different.
if you want to listen to the album, go listen to the album.
Exactly,
You're going to watch a live
exactly.
show, you know what I mean?
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly
Yeah,
right.
that's huge.
Yeah.
And I'm really big on performing. I rehearse a lot. I take it very seriously, and it's one of the biggest compliments I get. It's like, wow, your stage presence is crazy. Your crowd
Sick.
control is, you know, top level. So
It's a very
Hell
big
yeah.
part of an artist as well.
Oh, it's
huge,
like,
especially
it's
now. You know,
almost the main part of it. You know what I mean? Like, if an artist isn't feeling, like, the crowd isn't feeling you, they will not hesitate to go to smokers. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no,
Like,
exactly.
they will piss off. You know what I mean? Like, they will not. Yeah, they won't stay around if they don't want to. You know what I mean? But I want to know, bro. What music was like? Mum and dad banging around the house growing up, bro.
This
You
shit.
know what I mean?
Pink Floyd,
Yeah,
Doors, fucking
sick.
Jim Morrison,
Yeah,
Tom Cochran, like that kind of shit. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
So you see where that creative mind comes
Queen,
from, bro.
heavy influence. And if you look at, like, I do these things called mashups. So a lot of artists do remixes, and they'll just remix famous beats. I didn't want to go that route, so what
Yeah.
I do is I'll take like 5 Queen songs, make one beat out of it, and then rap over the whole thing, and it switches. I'll show you
yeah.
guys some after the podcast.
You
Like,
performed some of that on
I
Friday.
did, yeah, I did the Queen
heard
one
it.
on Friday.
Yeah,
It's
nice.
crazy, bro.
I missed it, bro. I was sick
Yeah.
as that day, bro.
It's
I
hard,
had
you know,
I'd
it's-
ripped up vocal cords and
Oh,
shit,
bro, it's okay,
yeah.
man. But those are hard to do because, like, you're taking 5 songs that are all different tempos, different key, and mashing into one that's gonna be
Yeah.
the same tempo. So, like, yeah,
That,
But-
that's crazy. That was
Very
crazy. bro.
artistic.
Yeah,
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 just
bro.
trying to do something that's like
versatile.
original in a time where everything's been done. You know,
But that's even a conversation I have with a lot of people off camera, bro. How, like, I feel like there's nothing original coming out. The things that seem original are just the basis of things that are already there
Yeah.
with being added on, with things added on. Do you
Yeah.
understand what I mean?
I
Like,
think it's been like that forever, though.
yeah,
now.
well, big facts, because if you look at rock, like, if you look at rock music, right, and then you look at jazz music, technically speaking, bro, like, jazz music is just rock, very, very slowed down. You know what I mean, man? So I feel like nothing new is being created. Things have just been added on. But with that being said, that bass had to be created somewhere.
Yeah.
So why can't a new bass be created? Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm waiting
Well, there
for.
is,
You
and
know?
here's the thing with hip hop is like the new bass has been created, but it gets shit on so hard with newer, like they call mumble rap, they
Yeah.
call it this and that, and it's just like we're just at an age now where we don't understand. We have become the fucking parents that used to tell us to turn that rap crap off. It's like, you know, we just don't understand this new wave of culture, but this is how it's growing.
Yeah.
This is how hip hop is evolving and stuff. So
We have this discussion quite a lot. Like he's he's 5 years younger than me, or something like that. Yeah.
Who, me?
Yeah. 5
Yeah.
years younger. So
Because
and
I'm 23.
yeah,
you know?
and my rap, like, you know, West Coast, like that, like
what I
boom
grew up
bap, like you know, like the Big L, like that sort of shit. That's my rap.
Me, I'm Uzi, DC, Playboy,
and
you know what I mean?
Auto-tune, and I'm like, no.
And that's the music I make is that type of shit. You know what I mean?
And it took us a long conversation to get to get to the middle, where like you know both are different styles, and it doesn't really matter to a degree. I think if it's selling out stadiums, if people want to hear it, it's music, it's art.
Absolutely.
Like, a lot of people probably didn't want to look at the paintings that people
everything.
did, and they're still famous.
Facts, bro. But I think our best way a homie put it to me the other day, bro, was like, and I think you love this as a person who creates, releases, and performs music consistently, bro. Is like, take like Mozart for instance, right? Like an artist over like 100 years ago now, right? When Mozart was writing his music, like because like even me, bro, I love listening to that type of shit. Calms me, bro. Especially like when you're surrounded by rap and all that shit all day. Like that shit calms me. Do you know what I mean? And just even thinking to myself, bro, you never like Mozart 100 years ago never would have thought some little like dickhead in Australia like calming down after a session would be using his music to like, you know what I mean, debrief 100 years later. Do you know, after he's passed? That's what's cool to me, bro. Do you know what I mean? The legacy that, because that's like
music's timeless, bro.
Yeah, like your music, bro, will outlive you by tenfold. Do you know what I mean, man?
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, bro, crazy.
I think the one thing that I have a qualm with kind of is there's still not much of a separation between the subgenres in hip hop the way there is rock. You know, you have classic rock, you have alternative, you have you have
punk
metal.
rock,
Like metal is an offshoot of rock music in a sense, but it's more of its own genre now. But like
screamer, punk rock.
Exactly. So it's like, but we just have rap, you know, or the haters that say mumble rap. So
I think I do beg to differ a little bit there. We do, it is just rap, but I think there is like, it is very labelled now as well. It's like rap. And then there's like new jazz, which is like a little bit of that mumble rap type of shit. And then there's trap music as well. They try to label it under as well.
Look,
do you know what I mean?
I get what I'm meeting between the both of you. Like, I think it's all classified as rap. Like what he's saying.
But it's all
I feel
subgenres,
like
just
the
like rock.
beats
You know what I
are
mean?
starting to get out. Like, you know, like,
They're creating the subgenres.
Yeah. I feel like
but I'm talking about like say the Grammys. They'll look at someone like Busta Rhymes and Travis Scott in the same light. They're both rappers. That's just all it is. So it's like, you know, as you won't look at like NoFX and fucking Pink Floyd in the same vein.
Correct.
100%, bro. 100%. That is that on that regard. 100%.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel there's like, but rap still as a whole doesn't even like. If I don't know if you guys watched the Grammys this year, but all three of the hip hop awards were done before the televised event. The only hip hop that was represented on the Grammys was Travis Scott, and in my opinion, that's not the proper representation for that in that crowd.
Yeah, I strongly agree, bro. Even though I fuck with Travis Scott's music, but I strongly agree. But also, even in saying that, I don't think the Grammys have a long left. Their reputation and what they hold and what getting a Grammy means is dying even more year by year, and especially with
in certain
because people
genres,
just know
only in hip hop.
People know it's rigged as hell. You know what I mean? Like even Jay-Z finally stood up on the Grammy stage this year and said the whole.
Jay-Z made a post. I mean, and Drake made a post about it too. So like. But it's only hip hop guys that are doing this. It's not the other genre. You're never gonna see Taylor Swift boycott the Grammys.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah,
because it's catered to those type of artists. It's catered to something that's more universal that old people can listen to and not have to cover their ears.
Exactly, bro. But even Beyonce, bro, right? The point that Jay-Z made on stage at the I don't know if you saw it, bro, but the point that Jay-Z made on stage at the Grammys was because after Jay-Z won the Grammy, he's giving his award and speech. He goes, "I appreciate this award. Thank you for having me." But he's like, Beyonce, he's like, this woman has won more Grammys more than anybody in any artist
in history. Yeah.
He goes, and yet still you are still yet to give her Grammy Album of the Year. He goes, even in your own metrics, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah. And he said that live on the Grammy stage. You know what I mean? Like, in not even like in a serious manner. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I know, but that's what I mean.
And I agree with that, but I don't at the same time because like. Then you got to look at everything. Okay, what albums was she up against, and what was her album? So like, there's a little bit of bias there too. You don't always know like what's going on at the time. That's not to say she didn't have amazing albums.
But you do know every year she is at least getting a Grammy somewhere in some genre. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I think. That's why I think he means even in your own metrics, it doesn't make sense because she still won more Grammys than any other artist. But you know, like so it's very I don't fuck with the Grammys. But how do you feel about the Grammys as an artist, bro? Like,
well, I mean. Like any artist wants to be recognized on that stage.
Of
like,
course,
it's the biggest thing. So like,
but
I mean, like, I'm not. If I got tickets to Grammy or I got nominated, I'm fucking going. I'm bringing my mom. I'm dressing up. I'm going to the night. Like,
can't deny that.
you know,
Yeah.
it's easy to say fuck the Grammys when you're Jay-Z or Drake and you're bigger than the
And
Grammys.
You don't need
Yeah,
the Grammys.
yeah.
Yeah,
You know, so-
yeah.
But I
Please
do
invite
also
us,
think,
Grammys.
yeah.
I have
bro?
so much respect for like Cursor because like.
Which have you would have heard about
Cursor?
Oh yeah, he
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
follows me on Instagram.
Yeah,
Six,
so
yeah,
like,
shout out
he's
to
there
him
for
for
the
that.
ARIA Awards and all that sort of shit.
Bro, they posted a video of this guy that wasn't
Good looks,
Cursor
good
say he
looks.
was there. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
good
like,
looks, bro,
yeah,
yeah.
his whole. I've seen all of that shit.
But
that he's doing
before
at the
Cursor
Grammys.
was even big enough to be invited there, he was already like blacklisted from Triple J, and he was like, "Nah, fuck this,
Yeah.
fuck all these people."
He said, "Fuck the media," from the
fuck
start.
And
Yeah,
Triple
yeah.
J's like your biggest media
Independent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and then they like blackballed him, and then he just went, well, you know, like fuck the media, fuck them, fuck them, fuck them, and then he ended up getting like nominated, and then he still was like,
He's like, I'm not showing up.
I'm not showing up.
He's like,
for
when I
it."
needed you, you
and
didn't
then,
want
and then they
yeah,
still
like,
tried to make it look like he
He
showed
showed
up.
up.
Yeah,
That's
no,
why
exactly,
they did
because
that,
they know how
yeah.
much swing and pull he has
Yeah,
out here.
bro. He's.
Let's just like just quickly stop it there.
Oh yeah, we just have to stop and start the camera every 25 minutes. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
no
because
worries.
otherwise it stops itself. Yeah, so we just reset. Yeah, bro. Yeah, well, we're talking about Cursor before the camera stopped and shit. But yeah, now Cursor's one who says fuck the mainstream media and shit, but then he will do everything he can to push like little outlets, media outlets and stuff like that are budging. Do you know what I mean? Like for us, for instance, we've only been doing this for 8 months. This podcast has been running that's probably safe to say about 8 months. Almost, no, it's actually coming up to a year in like 2 months. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we're coming up to a year real soon, right? And like when we first started, he was doing his last tour, where his retirement tour, and we both grew up on Cursor, so we were showing a lot of love in the reels and shit. You know what I mean? And from that, he started sharing us and following us and speaking about coming on and that. So he does a lot for the underground mainstream
little
and that.
guys.
But yeah, for the little guys, but for the big dudes that said fuck him from the start, he's kept that energy and said fuck you from the start. You know what I mean? Like
That's the goal, man.
Yeah, I have so
Everybody
much
wishes they
respect for
could
that
do
man,
that
bro.
shit.
Yeah,
You know, they just
yeah.
wanted to, yeah, exactly.
he nailed it, bro. He really nailed it. Like in the statement he made for us and gave us permission to like use as well, which I think we've already said, bro. Is like his goal was to make enough to retire off in 10 albums, and he did that last year. You know what I mean? And he's like, yeah, so
Yeah, he's ticked all the boxes, but yeah.
crazy.
Back, like, so whereabouts did you grow up?
Edmonton.
What was the music scene like there?
Fuck,
That's
man.
a mad question.
Very
actually, yeah.
like. There's a lot more metal and rock and shit. Out where I live, the province is called Alberta. It's almost like the Texas of Canada. So it's like very redneck.
Rednecks,
Yeah, bro. So like hip hop
Yeah.
was kind of like the fucking outcast of it forever, and even still to a sense, but it definitely gets a bit more like recognition now. Like I just
Yeah.
it's like a Edmonton Artist Trust Fund, so they give like a big grant to artists that are like outstanding in your field and your community and
sick,
shit.
bro,
So like
yeah.
they're finally starting to give rap guys like funding and fucking recognition on like
Hell yeah.
on a big scale. This is like the Edmonton Arts Council and the people and the Edmonton government and shit like that that are actually recognizing it finally. So it's definitely getting better. We have local artists that have started to kind of do some stuff. Like we do have artists from Edmonton that are fucking huge, but they don't rep it, so you wouldn't really know. Like Tom McDonald, you know Tom McDonald?
Of course. Yeah.
You know, like I was doing shows with him.
How
and
do
we
you
were just
feel about
rocking.
Tom McDonald, bro?
I'm indifferent about it because I know him quite well from
Yeah.
when we were younger. So
Yeah.
me personally, it's not necessarily the route I would have gone.
Yeah.
But he's a fucking genius. He realized that social media was built off conflict,
Yeah.
built off disagreements and arguments, and he continues to make
Capitalize.
those.
So